Evolve with Samantha.
Alright, so guys, we are back. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, don't miss out. I'm bringing you juicy things. Please don't miss out. Subscribe and like so that the algorithm remembers me and puts me out there. So that any girl out there is back in the rhythm of knowing their purpose, their identity, and shooting for the stars. Remember our last guest, Mrs. Musisi, Joy. I couldn't get enough of her. I decided to do a part 2. So welcome back, Madam, the Queen, pretty brainy wife.
Thank you.
welcome back.
Thank you.
This is Evolve with Samantha. So I want us to talk about your fertility journey. So
Okay.
it's been a journey.
Oh, yeah.
But before that, I want to define for me purpose. Interesting. How do you define purpose?
Purpose. So, I believe that all of us come from heaven with something. You know that parable Jesus told of the men with talents, like he gave 1 5 talents, 1 2 1. Yeah, all of us come with something. Some people come with more, some people come with less, but no one comes empty. But what happens is when we come to this earth, we start to be conditioned.
That's a good one. No one comes empty.
Yeah.
That's a good
We start to be conditioned into, to be a success, you must be good at school. But let's be honest, there are kids that were never good at school. Well, praise the Lord if you are, but also it doesn't guarantee that if you were good in school, whatever you did and studied was where your purpose or your calling was.
True.
So, the thing that I believe your purpose is that thing that you always feel so deeply
The
led
burden.
to do,
Yeah.
and even if you were not paid for it, you'd still do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a cousin that is so passionate about clothes, in that she'll find a person in town, a random person she does not know in town, and she'll be like, you have a thread, like there's a thread hanging off your skirt, can I cut it off? She is so passionate with designing and all, like she'll even do for you clothes on what is it called? Oh my god, Luganda is getting the most of me. On credit.
On the
And she,
budget.
yeah, and she would not feel a pinch.
Yeah.
Now that's how you know a person's purpose.
So how do you turn purpose into? How do you make purpose work for you and also work for others?
Now, when you understand that place, that burden of your life, I think the really next step that people miss is asking God how you can serve your community with it. Like I said, we have been conditioned that everything about our lives is we chase money. We like to chase money. Someone will be good at tailoring, but will stay a nurse or a doctor or whatever they study because they will see that there is no money this side. And yet, if you truly follow your purpose and serve others the way in which God expects you to use that talent, trust me, the money is going to come. I know that motivational speakers say that a lot, and someone will be like, it's being said, but
You
I've
still have
seen
to
it
pay
work in
bills.
my life. I've seen it work in my life. I ran away from my purpose for a very, very long time.
Yeah, me too.
Even when I was just dating, I always had the best relationship advice for my friends.
But it wasn't working for you.
But it wasn't working for me. And I'm like, what? And when I started to do content creation, which I didn't know was called content creation then, I started it still on a journey of teaching about marriage and relationships and all of that. Then along the way, I think I dropped off. Why did I drop off? I had a bunch of friends that were doing the same thing, who were starting out in the same thing, and I felt like we would be as if we are competing. You know that thing? And I'm like, and I think I'm also good at motherhood and all of that. So let me dive into motherhood. So I started to do motherhood content. I started to teach people about motherhood and the things about, really, really about motherhood anyway. And it was going great for me. I love taking videos of my kids and doing challenges and all of that. And then, this one time I started to feel empty. Very empty. I don't know if you've gotten to that place of your life where you feel there's a void and you don't know how to fill it. So I had that void, and then I told myself, but let me just, ask God exactly what I'm doing and why I'm here. Also, not I was stuck at a certain point on my social media. Of course, as we grow on social media, we really want to hit the numbers. Excuse me. It's as important for you to give value, but also as important for you to hit the numbers. So I was stuck. So I went to my secret place and asked God, what exactly am I doing? Like, show me what I'm supposed to do. And then Samantha, I tell this story a lot. It was like the person was seated right next to me like this. And God said to me, the thing you're doing, did I ask you to do it?
What were you doing then?
I was doing motherhood. I was just sharing motherhood. Food recipes, playing with your children, how to do this, how to do that. And yeah, we were vlogging. We used to go out a lot and vlog with the kids. And God asked me, the thing that you're doing, did I ask you to do it? I can't explain how I felt at that point, but that was a real turning point. I started to reflect and say, so I moved away from what God asked me to do. And I started caring about how my friends felt, how they thought. And for them, they're chasing purpose. Meanwhile, for you, you're dimming yours because you guys still want to be, in a circle where you're helping each other, growing with each other. So I was fasting that week. It was so deep for me. Also like one of my spiritual regimens, which I feel I should share with you guys. You know how for everything there's a price to pay. It's like a sacrifice for everything. And because as Christians we don't do human or animal sacrifice, you've got to sacrifice something of yourself that hurts, so that you can, I don't know, not like God needs your sacrifice, but
you need it.
it's you who needs it. Because you see, even Satanists will give
fast.
and they give heavy sacrifices. Like a person can even sacrifice their entire family, children, wife, without thinking twice. And so as Christians, I think we get lazy in that area.
Because we're in this phase of grace. Spiritual grace.
There's a grace. So for me, one of my spiritual regimens is I give out the first 14 days of every month to God. So I fast those days. So it sort of helps you get, I don't know, it gets you like closer to God. You can hear God when you're actually fasting. It's easy to hear God. So in that time is when I actually now say, okay, God, I'm going to live my purpose boldly. Was it easy? No. I lost 270 followers in 1 week.
I lost followers when I said to you about God too.
But
crazy.
In the beauty, I gained 11,000 more. So, I don't know, it's hard, but when God calls you to do something, you just do it anyway.
Alright. So, I believe in fasting too. But fasting, right? I remember that days I used to fast, but now when I look back, I realize I was just on a diet.
You are losing weight and glowing your skin.
I was just on a diet because I used to fast a lot even in high school. We were about to start papers like you name, I fast. But then I am being mean. I'm not reading the word. I am. At the end of the day, you find yourself quarreling with a friend or anyone.
Yeah, there'll always be temptations in those days. Those are the worst.
The worst.
Wow, I don't know.
They
like
hit you.
Are big.
Yeah, but then now when I started reading the Bible, I go back, I realize that even Jesus himself once tested during his great fast. So it's normal. It's normal. When you're fasting, it's like you're knocking on a sleeping lion. Wake up and start drawing. But if you want to learn more about fasting, I would encourage you to read Psalms 58. Top notch.
Taking notes.
Yes, I'll put that in the description box. It's top notch. Like it will help you, direct you. Because even the Israelites were fasting and then they were complaining, but we are fasting, we're not getting the results. And then was it Elijah who said, are you fasting the right way? This is the right way to fast, and it's all in Isaiah 58. It's amazing. It will help you out. All right. I know you've had a quite journey. Your fertility journey has been a an amazing one. Let me call it that. It's different.
Yeah.
So I want you to help us tell us about that and the lessons you learned. But mostly, I remember seeing this on your social media, on your Instagram, saying you were struggling to get pregnant, and then God was putting it on your heart, giving you a burden to pray for those that also need kids. How was that?
Yeah. So, well, where did my fertility journey start from? Actually, I was not yet married to my husband, but we were living together. And because we were about to get married, it was not like we were not preventing not getting pregnant. Yeah, we're done kuchala, and we just were getting it on. We did not think, okay, well, like if we get pregnant, we're like good. Like we're not overthinking yet. And then we get married. Now this has been going on for a year. Then we get married, and now we realize, how have we not been preventing this thing for a year? And it still isn't happening. And then I used to have this like throbbing pain in my left abdomen, but I would dismiss it. It would come usually during ovulation periods. And also my periods were never really stable. Like I would have like 2 periods in 1 month. I would go 2 months without a period. Yeah, like that. But I never gave much thought to it because my mom always said before you have babies, your period is never stable. So also I think as African parents, we need to normalize getting medical tests done because we just can't leave everything to chance. So one particular time,
we actually need to normalize once you're sexually active and once you've started your periods, at least do minimum once a visit to a gynecologist.
Yeah.
Like you need to make it a habit.
We only do that when we are pregnant.
Yes, you need to make it a habit to this gynecologist.
I started to feel like really the pain now became a bit intense, yeah. And so I decided to visit a guy, and they said, okay, you have like cysts on your left ovary. But yeah, they should be able to clear because apparently everybody has cysts. Like when you get to ovulation, a cyst comes, and once the egg is out, the cyst busts. So I'm like, okay, well. And then this one time I used to work on a TV and I was the host. And this one time I collapsed on live TV, live TV, I just passed out. So they took me to the hospital, and my right ovary had also gotten really big cysts. And so when they did a scan, it was terrible. Like the doctor was just like, how is this happening? Like just a few months ago we checked and you had really small cysts, and now it's big, full blown. So they said to put me on medication. And then the next test that I did, they were like, now we can confirm it, you have polycystic ovarian syndrome. Some people are born with it, but guess what? Mine just appeared. Okay, I don't know if I was born with it, but
Polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Yeah, what they call PCOS.
PCOS.
So I don't know how. Like anyway, to be honest, I think all of those missed periods, irregular periods, I think were a contributing factor. So he said, this is bad because your cysts are really big and they look malignant, like they could potentially be cancerous.
Oh my God.
So, worse still, though I had gotten cysts also in my uterus.
Oh my.
So he was like, this is really bad. The only thing we can do is we can at least save your uterus. We need to get your ovaries out. Ha! Guys, you're a young couple, you've just gotten married. You gotten married to a typical African family where after 3 months of being married, they will ask, why aren't you vomiting? So I'm like, nah, I'm not listening to this doctor. So I have a friend who had issues with cysts as well, and she recommended her doctor. So my friend introduced me to her guy, and I went there for a second opinion. And this guy just made everything worse, just magnified, like, you should have died by last week. And now the worst thing about it is, and I feel like this is something people really need to know. And I'm not going to say sorry for putting Jesus everywhere in this, because that's the only thing I know. That's the only way I know how to live. The thing about how our lives are framed, our lives are framed by what? So I see a lot of posts and things like, Me words don't hurt me. Someone can say whatever they like. Lies. Even the world was created by words. Our spirits hear words. The minute someone tells you that this disease is supposed to kill you, you will start to believe it.
True.
And so when I got those opinions, or I got an opinion from another doctor who my mom recommended, and she also said the same thing. So I had 3 opinions of doctors saying these ovaries have to be cut out. Samantha, I'm telling you for a fact, I started to have serious pain.
Yeah.
My tummy swelled. I looked like I was pregnant all the time. And if I just had to pee, you would hear screams in the whole neighborhood. So the house we were living in by then, the toilet was like a squatter toilet. And to just squat and pee, I would scream. The pain would be so intense.
Sorry to ask you this. I don't know if you feel comfortable. How old were you then?
25.
So that's I wanted people to hear that, because you know when we hear of these things we think 35 and above, and yet even younger than that you can't get.
Yeah.
I really want girls out there to start taking their health, mostly dealing with this very
seriously. Yeah.
Because as much as we believe in God, 100% I'm a Jesus girl, He has also given us the wisdom to prevent some of these things.
Yeah.
Take the right food.
Yeah.
Food is medicine itself. So I really wanted to emphasize on that. As much as you're young, it can happen.
Yeah, so my heart really started to believe it. I told my husband, you know what? We're going to do this. So of course he was bothered, but he would, calm me down and be like, so what are we going to do? So I told him, so the doctor said, so I zeroed down to one doctor. I was like, the doctor said, we have to go to the fertility clinic and harvest my eggs, so that anytime we want to have kids, we can do like an artificial insemination. And so he said, okay, so when are we doing that? So they gave us a list of all of the dates and all of that. And then this one time, meanwhile, all of the time, I'm not even as close to God as I am right now. But I was there, and God just brought it to me. And a disclaimer, I'm not in any way saying that getting surgery for anything, be it childbirth, is a bad thing. But we all have our personal journeys, and how we want our lives to be framed. So the thing that God brought to me at that point was that my mom had my younger brother by C-section. And she had always suffered, like her back is always paining. It's 19 years down the road, her back is always paining. She's always complaining about things. So I said, God, how do I get a scar? Like, it's something that I do not want to get. But most importantly, I'm like, how do I get a scar that's not even out of childbirth? There's nothing good that's going to come out of this thing. And so it is at that point that God said, you can actually prevent this. And I said, okay, so what am I going to do? Naturally, I'm a person of faith. It's been a thing that, people struggle to have faith and believe in all of that. For me, it's never been a struggle. If I just set myself today, Samantha, and I say, I'm going to speak to this sky to produce rain right now, it will. I don't know. I know now, because I've learned how spiritual gifts work. Everybody has a spiritual gift, and for me, mine is faith. And so I just say, okay, let me get my faith on right now. I'm not going to get this thing. And so I went into fasting mode. So I fasted for 7 days, and then my egg harvesting day was a Wednesday, and then on Saturday, my husband says, I'm traveling. The job that he used to do required him to travel a lot. So he's like, I'm traveling, but you don't seem fine. Should I go with you? And then he's like, oh, but I've remembered, you have a thing on Wednesday. I said, no, I'm not going to do it. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, no, I can call the doctor and ask him to defer. Now, my husband is not as faith as I am. He's a very logical person. He sees things as they are. You cannot convince him.
Like most men.
Yeah, so I couldn't have told him that my faith has told me not to do it. But I was like, I could defer the date. I could go at later. He's like, okay, cool, we can go together. So I took it as a free vacation, and we traveled. Now, while we traveled, I started to journal down. Like when the car was moving, I would, write. And some of the things that I remember writing, I would write my personal prayers, like, God, this is how I feel. God started to show me certain things and speak to me in certain ways. Another things he actually specifically made me do was to look for people that had gone through a similar journey. So I was very active on Facebook back then. So I went to Facebook and I typed in, PCOS, infertility. And then I landed on a page that was called Healing Naturally Together by a woman called, I think, Dr. Christine. And so that particular week, she was doing a grape juice fast. And she was like, this is for people suffering with fibroids, PCOS, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, so let me do it. So sometimes, God might not just heal you of supernatural, oh my God, I'm healed, but He might lead you to a direction that's going to be the source of your healing.
Yeah.
So when I wrote down everything that she was saying and all of that, so when we came back from this vacation, I decided to do that fast. I kept telling my husband, the doctor is out of the country, and we are going to do it when he comes back. So I gave myself 2 weeks, and I did the fasting exactly how she had said it. I also got some other things off the internet, and I incorporated them in my routine, my food routine. Guys, after 2 weeks, I do not really feel the pain. Yeah, I feel I'm bloated, but I don't really feel the pain. So let's say let me go to the hospital. I went to a different hospital altogether. I was like, let me go and get a scan just to be sure. Like, has this thing moved? Has it not moved? As surely as God lives, Samantha. The lady in the scan asked me, where have you come for a scan? So I had moved with my previous reports. I'm like this. So she looked at that report and she said, it's impossible. So I said, what do you mean? She's like, are you sure like this diagnosis was correct? I showed her 3 different hospitals. I'm like, this and that and that. She's like, okay, I want you to look here. So she looks me in the scan and says, there is nothing. If there was something, you'd see a blue here, a blue here, a blue here. She's like, there is nothing, you're clean. I'm like, how come I still feel pain? She's like, maybe you have scars, like there's something called like scarring, like when you've had fibroids and what you can have like internal scars. She's like, you could be scarring, but there is nothing. And just like that, I was clean. I didn't need a surgery. I know that there are people that could have, in a breath, gone for that surgery. But sometimes you don't have to. You don't have to. You've just got to use your faith. But did I conceive immediately? No!
Yeah.
That's still a whole long thing. I tried to conceive again, and then God started teaching me things in that journey. I was fine, there was nothing wrong with me, but nothing was happening. And so God taught me certain things along that journey, one of them being sewing. I learned the concept of sewing so deeply when I was trying to conceive. God has such a sense of humor. Almost all the girls in my friend circle got pregnant. And they were not trying. They were just in casual relationships. They can swear they took the postina.
Yeah.
I was like, God, why?
What's up?
He made sure that every single one of my close friends got pregnant. And me who was looking for it, I was not. And so that is when he taught me how to be happy for others in their season of winning. He started teaching me, like, I organized my friends' bridal shower, baby showers, and I bought their children gifts. I sewed into their lives so much that there was no single way I was not going to get my own child. So that season of waiting taught me sewing, it taught me patience, it taught me how to forgive. Because I have my best friend then hurt me so deeply. And she didn't even know what she was saying, though, by the way. But I remember when I went to her and I told her they said my ovaries need to be cut out. She said, oh my God, do you know how bad it is not to have a child for an African man? He's definitely going to cheat. I was broken. I was like, this coming from my best friend.
Yeah.
And then she also got pregnant in that time. And she would say things. And honestly, after we talked it out, I realized that she was just being normal. Like there was, like she didn't overthink through it. Yeah. Because she would, sometimes she'd be like, oh my God, my boobs hurt so bad. And I'm like, oh my God, sorry, but how come so and so's boobs don't hurt? Because, you're pregnant and you're many, so I'm comparing you against someone else. And then she's like, how would you know you're not pregnant? That thing would hit you again. You're like, wow. But God taught me forgiveness. He told me so many things in that season that when I actually got a child, I realized why God made me late.